Hey guys, so here we are working on a 2017 Polaris Switchback Assault 600. So it's an Axys chassis, the 600 engine that has the electronic oil pump. I don't know if that's what the differentiating factor is here, but the steering stem here, the one with this particular bend in it, it doesn't give you enough room to clean your exhaust valve. So even if you've taken the pipe out like I did, you still can't get this exhaust valve out without doing something with the steering stem. So what you have to do is, down in here you can see, well, you can't really see really well, but so there's the two bolts you can see down in there, and then there is a it's like a washer thing there. So I actually had to detach at the bottom here those two bolts. They go in the same direction they're pointing right now on either side of the steering stem. So that's what holds the bottom of the steering stem in. All you have to do is take those out, and they do just thread right into the bulkhead. So there's no nut on the back side. They are kind of hard to get at. I used one of these ratcheting type half-inch wrenches to kind of slide down in there to get at it. But basically, you got to get this steering stem moved over just slightly in order to get your this mag side exhaust valve removed. So I don't know that there's any other way to do it on a 2017 600 Axys engine with this particular steering stem. So here's a little ride report after 2,500 miles on the 2017 Polaris 600 running VES oil. 2,500 miles, never taken it apart before. Here's just a look. I didn't really notice any performance issues, but it was about time. I figured it was one season of riding. So we'll get these things cleaned up, but it probably could have been done at 1,000 miles or 2,000 miles. I apologize. In case you're wondering, here are my tools of choice for today. That's what I had on hand: some brake parts cleaner, a wire brush. I just soak them down and scrub them with that, and then I'll go down to this steel wool stuff, whatever it's called, and then any of the hard caked on stuff I'll carefully scrape off with a razor blade. So that's my method. Here's a mid-process shot. Let's see what was caked on. So scraping at this with the razor blade, being careful not to gouge. Just thought I'd show that. Get an idea. One thing to note, if you did take this black plastic cap off, you might want to either wait until you've got the guillotine drop down into the cylinder again before putting the cap on, because the orange bellows, if you look here as I rotate the guillotine, also rotates. So either put this in first before tightening this down, or if you are going to tighten this down first, just make sure that your bellow or that your guillotine is lined up perfectly straight the way you want it before you tighten it down. One more thing to note about cleaning your exhaust valves: never ever over tighten these two bolts here that hold them in. So just, get them finger tightened. I do it this way as you're turning them in to make sure you don't get them cross threaded. And then once you get there, just use Loctite, blue or red, whatever your choice is. I think red comes on them from the factory. And then snug them up, but do not over tighten or you'll strip out your cylinder aluminum. So here's a little off-topic bonus footage on this exhaust valve cleaning. As it turns out, my primary clutch spring is broken. So I think that's probably the reason why I knew something wasn't running right with the sled. So I kind of suspected exhaust valves, but as you can see, they're
There's it snapped off there and there. So that was probably the reason why it wasn't running quite right. But exhaust valve cleaning was necessary anyway.